Did you watch that? Have you seen that?
What?
British Got Talent.
No.
This guy's like, like he just floated up in the air.
What?
Literally. He just floated up in the air.
Well, that's bullshit, isn't it?
Well, it's on live TV, so.
Oh yeah, because they don't.
Mate, he floated up in the air. You have to watch it. I'll show it to you after. He went, "Whoa," and the judge was like, "What the hell is he doing?" Whoa.
If you've just tuned in, which you obviously have, you've just heard Ryan imitating a levitation act.
Yes, on Britain's Got Talent. So if you have seen it, please tell Chris about it.
Apparently, some guy levitated live on Britain's Got Talent, and
Yeah.
no tricks, like
Nothing.
just real
Just
levitation.
Floated.
Just
like
a
a butterfly.
For a man who's very scientific and who like conspiracy theorists and looks into the planets and science and everything, you're willing to believe that a man can just meditate and float this way.
Well, from the video evidence, it looked like he did.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's TV, mate, so they can do what they want.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, Ryan, I can see you for the first time in a couple of months now.
Yes,
I can't touch you though.
No. We are 2.5 meters apart.
Yep, so just to paint a picture for you, if you're not watching this on the tubes, we have relocated to my new garage gym and the doors are open. It might as well, it's not in the house.
No, it's
We
external.
are not Ali G in the house right now.
No.
And I've also created a new studio using my squat rack. I've got a 2.5 metre desk across the safety bars of the squat rack. We have our full setup in here. This is good to go, people.
And again, you'll be able to see it on YouTube.
Yes, so you can see the action. Look at it, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
You can also see my overgrown hairstyle. It's not a good situation. Quarantine hair, lockdown hair is not good. It's all right for you. You can just shave it
I literally
off.
just shaved off.
I think
you should do it as well, mate.
You were losing yours anyway.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, so just shave it off.
I have thought about it, but certain people can't. Only certain
I
people.
wonder what
can
you'd look like. I should put you in one of those apps and just take your hair off and see.
I'd be like, hopefully Bruce Willis. I'm hoping, or the Statham, the mighty Statham.
That's who I think you'd look like.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
If it catapults me into a career in,
You've probably got a better physique than him, though.
he's a bit taller. Yeah, I'd like to think that I've got a more balanced physique than he has.
Yeah.
But he's just an all-round tough guy, isn't he?
Well, guess so. An actor.
Much like my good self.
Yeah.
But yeah, without further ado, Ryan, shall we get into this?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Fade that down, Ryan. I'm going to fade that down now. Yeah. So, of course, coronavirus has evidently spread into my recording system, and the music was slightly not how I anticipated it.
But better.
But better, obviously, because Ryan brought his own original
spin to it.
But yeah, how are you doing, man?
We're good, you know. We're still here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how good we're doing. We're still here.
We never gave up.
No, there's a lot of people dying in this world right now.
Yeah, I mean...
I know it's not a good place to start, but we're going to start.
So the last show we did, episode 32, was back in March, and this was just when everything was kicking off. We did reflect on the fact that things were getting serious now.
Yeah, and I did say we're going to be in lockdown very soon.
Yeah.
And I said, get your gym equipment, I believe. Get it ready now.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I cracked straight on with that, and lo and behold, we have a full working gym in my garage, including squat rack, cable fly, cardio equipment, dumbbells, everything.
Kettlebells. Mag grips.
Yeah.
Don't downplay it, mate. You've got a lot here.
I'm a bit OCD when it comes to making sure things are done just right.
That's all right.
But the power tools have been very much in full effect. Handyman, jack of all trades, mate. Jack of all trades. But yeah, so lockdown. How has it treated you, Ryan? We've been apart for about 10 weeks, I think it is.
Yeah, so it's been basically just been staying at home. I mean, when the lockdown first, started, there was a lot more busy, I would say, in terms of work-wise, and that kind of died down because where people kind of like fall off a little bit, maybe lose a bit of motivation, which I can understand. But there's always things and ways that how to self-improve yourself in regards to learning new things. I've been learning new things. I've been doing the gardening. I've been what else I've been doing? Cooking different things, cooking different meals that I wouldn't have done probably if lockdown didn't happen. So I'm now a Chinese chef and a chicken chef. So I'm 2 chefs put together.
Wow, Chinese chicken chef.
Yes, so I can now cook a good chicken or prawn fried rice, or even egg fried rice, whatever, special fried rice. And I've got my own version of KFC as well. So
JFC.
Yeah, plus. So it's all about self-improvement. I mean, there's only so much you can do in lockdown, and if you haven't got much work to do, there's always something to do to educate yourself. Education is key. That's what I'm trying to do, educate myself and just become a better person.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think it's very important that people have taken this downtime to maybe, you've got to make the most of it. I think if you've seen this as an opportunity to enhance your player score on Call of Duty.
I mean, I've done that as well. my kill to death ratio has improved.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So so it's the time to kind of reflect, and also you can kind of reset as well, and like think to yourself, okay, when they say like, there's obviously we're going to talk about fitness. So when the gyms reopen, you think, right, what can I do to restart, the flame again? I mean, because this happened, mid-March, yeah? Right?
Yeah, it was pretty much the end of March.
And this is the time when most people, kind of fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
So, in terms of that, maybe this is a good tool to now restart again mid-year.
This is going to be like January gym, like New Year's resolution gym vibes all over again.
100%, but obviously the gyms will be a little bit restricted because of, of safety. But in terms of your motivation and the goals, it should hopefully relight your fire.
Relight the fire.
Sorry, I had to fit that in.
Nice.
We've got challenges, guys. We've got to put certain phrases in.
Oh, is it like a classic? Is it We'll Take That songs tonight?
We'll Take That songs, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, relight my fire. You can relight your fire.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I know. I've been writing a million love songs in this downtime. To be honest, just I've been sat at my piano. You've been relearning your saxophone, haven't you?
Yeah, I would have brought it today,
but
I didn't realise. I didn't realise. We were outside. Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, you didn't want to disturb the neighbours with the saxophone playing.
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah,
it's a very loud instrument.
It is a very loud instrument. It's a quite antisocial instrument.
Yes, it can be. Yeah, you can only play at certain times of the day.
So, where are we at currently with this lockdown then? We're allowed to see each other again socially distanced, hence why you're here and I'm over here.
Yeah, so you can only see 6 people a day.
I mean, I've got a bit of a problem with that because I don't have 6 friends.
Right, this is the thing. I was saying to Laura, right, I mean, this is kind of like back to normal because how many people do you actually see every day anyway? Like, that you know of, that you're actually hanging around.
I don't
not walking past in the streets. I mean, actually socially gathering with someone. How many people do you actually do? You don't do more than 6 anyway.
I think when you hit, I saw a funny thing saying that people in their 20s are struggling to pick 6 of their favourite friends, and anyone 30 plus is struggling to find six friends.
Exactly.
And
so
that's basically it.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's for me. It's the same. I mean. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, our clubbing days are
I mean, maybe for the younger ones, I can maybe understand. But even then, they're not even social distancing anyway.
Oh, they are out in force, mate.
They are out. I've been like, even just outside this house here, we've heard loads of kids playing with each other.
Yeah, the seemingly the very youthful younger. When I say young, I mean like 7, 8-year-olds. They're just like footloose and fancy free, mate.
Exactly. So I don't know, but the rules. I mean, what else have we got? We've got what other rules?
What's happening with the gyms, mate? Come on, you know all this stuff. Talk to us about the gyms.
Of course, I can predict what's going to happen. So
Mystic Meg, come on.
Mystic back. Right. So what's going to happen? Come. They say 4th of July, maybe, I don't know, the week after that, whatever. Beginning of the start of July, gyms will reopen. But what will happen? Well, it depends on the R level, all right? The reproductive level. But anyway, the start of July, what will happen is that there'll probably be some kind of booking system. So before you get to the gym, you're going to have to probably either book somewhere or ring the gym and maybe book your time slot of an hour, I would say, of 1 hour. So, because gyms will only be able to have a certain amount of people within an hour. This is my prediction because it's happening in Italy and France right now, that you can only have a certain amount of people in the gym at a certain amount of time, down to the size of the gym. So the bigger the gym, the more people are allowed in that area. So it's going to be slightly harder to get to gyms. I mean, or you're going to have to, I think it's going to be first come, first serve. So you have to.
I mean, there's going to be serious problems if people are queuing outside a Pure Gym at all hours of the day just to get in and do their half reps, man. That's not good, is it?
Or they might going to say, right, okay, depending on the size of your gym is capped at so many people that can go to the gym at a certain time, and everyone has to wear masks. I think everyone's going to have to wear masks anyway because we're going to be in an inside environment.
But honestly, I've got a nice Adidas mask. I bought a pack of 3 Adidas masks. Yeah. They're nice, they're comfortable. But I don't like being in it too long because it gets hot. Breathing does get restricted. Like ultimately, they're not easy. Like people, I don't know. Like I take my hat off to all the the care workers and NHS workers and all the key workers that have had to wear masks 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but throughout their working shifts because it's horrible to be stuck in a mask.
You can see like their faces have just got the imprint of the mask.
Well, we have acne now, which is mask acne.
Oh, is it?
Acne, mate.
What, people are getting acne?
Acne.
Because of the sweaty...
Mask acne.
Oh, right.
Because if you think you've got that thing on your face all day, it's going to be the sweat and all that vibe.
Yeah. So I think they're going to have to put that into place. People are going to have to... Because I've seen it in Dubai and in countries that have digital gyms open now, that it's mandatory to have masks on inside.
I mean, you've got to do something, and there's got to be a lot of cleaning up and wiping down going on, that's for sure.
I hope so. You would hope so. So it's going to be a different world, for sure. But it doesn't mean we cannot still...
We have to adapt. We're humans, we can adapt.
100%.
We don't have to be stubborn about this.
No.
We've got no choice but to play along. If you need your precious gains, you're going to have to work for them, unless you've... I think, to be honest, I know it seems ridiculous, but I think my home gym concept will grow. I think there's a lot of people that will be investing, because the company that we've worked with in order to build ours, Wolverson Fitness, shout out Wolverson, they've sold out of all their key stuff, has just been selling out constantly. Like all the barbells constantly sell out, all the plates, dumbbells, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because ultimately people's response to it is to develop what they have at home.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, I think it's a good investment.
Yeah, why not?
Then you don't have to you don't rely on that gym membership so much.
No, exactly, yeah. And, because like this is a pandemic, obviously 2020, there's been other breakouts in the past that haven't been as bad. But
SARS.
SARS and MERS or whatever. But it can easily happen again. Yeah, because a virus, it's just viruses jumping from an animal to a human. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Did you know that all kind of major, like for example, the common cold came from horses?
Yeah, yeah.
And the flu came from chickens, I think, or something along those lines. There's an article that states where all the kind of famous diseases over the years, everyone like smallpox, all of them, they've all originated from animals.
Every one of them have come from an animal. Every one, an animal. So like you had bird flu, you had mad cow disease. It all comes from animals.
This
so
has
it shows you it could easily happen again.
Surely this, if anything, fuels the kind of plant-based quest.
It definitely does. It does sadden me a little bit, but it definitely it gives them another strength to their argument, to their debate, which I can understand. It's truthful. It's true. I mean, if a virus can jump from an animal, I mean, I'm sure you can eat it. I'm sure you can. I mean, if a virus is within an animal and you're eating it, I'm sure you can catch it that way. I mean,
well, I think the whole concept of corona was the Chinese meat markets, wasn't it, and all that stuff.
Yes, it's got to be very high. That's the thing. Like, you have a look at those wet markets.
That's it.
It's very unhygienic. So it's not very clean.
It's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. So they're now starting to put a what do you call it? They're trying to get these banned now. They're trying to ban.
But as I said, you love a conspiracy theory.
I love it because
You must.
When it comes to conspiracy theory, I like to. I look at it. I watch it, whatever it is, and I don't, because I know all these conspiracy theory videos. They try and it's mainly one-sided. So I listen to what they say and I try and understand it and then break it up and try and get some kind of real understanding from it. So yeah. And with any conspiracy theory, right? So this is what I try and warn people: don't just watch it, because most of these conspiracy theories are always one-sided. Like that, the program on Netflix about what was it about vegan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the health?
What was it?
What the health was it? The one about
just the one about vegan.
Right.
The one that exploded out.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
So that was a very one-sided documentary. I mean, there was no other. It was just one-sided. So that's why a lot of people were like, oh. But what I try and say to people is watch it, understand it from their point of view, but then also understand it from the other point of view as well, and then take what you will from it.
Yeah.
And so, go on. You had a conspiracy theory.
No,
I love conspiracy theories.
The whole concept behind the fact that it was the virus was started in a man-made virus started in a lab and all this sort of stuff, and now there's a conspiracy theory over Bill Gates wants to vaccinate people in order to plant a microchip in every human being.
So I've been watching all that. I know the insides out of all different stories, and I've had debates with my good friend as well.
Break it down.
Right. So here you go.
I'm gonna sit back now.
Right. There's been so many conspiracy theories. People say there's no coronavirus. First of all,
5G. Come on, 5G.
First of all, it started with 5G. That for me, I looked at it and I dissected it and I thought, what a load of rubbish. Yeah? What a load of rubbish. I think if there is something wrong with 5G, it's nothing to do with like coronavirus. It might have its own long-term effect, but it's nothing to do with coronavirus. Yeah, and that's what really got me slightly angered, because you're actually now putting people's lives in danger. Because if you're not listening to the protocols and the guidelines that the government is trying to give you, because you don't believe there's a coronavirus out there, then that's dangerous.
Of course it is, yeah.
So I was very much against that, and I was quite angry at people that really thought that. But anyway, so that conspiracy is out the window. Yeah, no 5G.
Forget it.
No comment. There's no association with it.
You might as well go hang out with people who believe that the Earth is flat.
Exactly. Anyway, so then there was Bill Gates and him, obviously,
microchip and everyone with his vaccine.
Yeah, that's just rubbish, because first of all it came out was, all right, he's going to put a chip in your body to then vaccinate this disease. Then, because vaccinations come in the form of an injection, then people were saying that you're going to be injected by this vaccine, and inside this liquid it will then form a chip in your body. I was like, come on, you're just making things up now.
Nanotechnology.
Yeah. So for me, that's just rubbish. All right, we're not at that level yet. Maybe in 100 years' time, we might get to that.
The other thing is, why do they need to put chips in our bodies when they can just track everything we do on our phones anyway?
Exactly. So
the phone is an extension of you.
All these conspiracy theories comes from a man called, he's one of the big people in his industry, conspiracy industry, called David Icke. And
classic.
Yeah, and he comes up with all these conspiracy theories. Everything is different to what the government says. There's a reason why, because he makes money from it. If you go to his website, I've done a lot of it. He goes to his website and he's selling books. He sells these other courses, whatever, merchandise. He's selling everything for people to listen to what he has to say, and he then brainwashes these people. It's like a religion. He brainwashes these people to believe in his beliefs, and then whatever he wants to sell, he will sell.
Yeah.
And that's how he makes a living, right? That's how he makes a living. And he's very, very, very articulate in what he says and how he says it. And he's very, very believable. Like, if you're very naive, you think, okay, that actually makes sense. But then when you have a look at other things and then you look at it from a different angle, it's just totally wrong, man.
There you go.
Totally wrong. But, I mean, if someone believes in something, they believe in it. They can't actually help it, they actually believe in it. And that's the problem.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. So,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so, yeah. There's so many more I could talk about, but...
I think in some ways we're a bit bored of the coronavirus thing. I know obviously it's not going anywhere. It's something that we have to just accept and deal with, because life isn't going to be what we perceive to be normal for a long time. There will be a new normal.
Yeah, because listen to this, there may not ever be a vaccine.
Yeah.
All right, so 100 years ago there was something called massive pandemic?
Spanish flu.
Spanish flu, right? There was never a vaccine for it.
We just basically just worked our way through it.
Yeah, there was never a vaccine for this. Was it the SARS coronavirus?
Yeah.
Never a vaccine for that. I think MERS was a coronavirus. There's never been a vaccine for a coronavirus, so there's likelihood of us getting a vaccine for this coronavirus is very unlikely. But they are saying
they're using the Ebola treatment, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah. So there may be a treatment to stop you from dying, but not actually getting rid of it.
Well, to be fair, I'll take that.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah, that's good enough.
It's good enough for me, mate, because it's like catching anything. It's like you get the flu, you get over the flu, and that's why older people have flu jabs in order to survive.
Yeah, people do die from the flu as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so, there's always going to be disease. There's always going to be problems like that. That's one of the things that keeps the population of the world in check in a way.
Yeah. And also, we have to help ourselves as well. And helping ourselves, we have to put the right stuff in our bodies to lessen the degree of us catching anything, not just coronavirus, anything. Do you know how many viruses and bad bacteria that are surrounding us even right now? So much.
Interestingly, one of the key things they pulled out was that being overweight was not good in regard to catching coronavirus.
Of course, because when you're overweight, you're susceptible to more diseases and have more underlying medical conditions anyway. So if your body is under stress as it is, any kind of viruses, your body is not able to handle it as good.
And also that coronavirus attacks the respiratory system.
Yes.
So therefore, if you're overweight and you struggle to breathe going up a set of stairs, you're probably going to struggle to breathe if you get the flu or coronavirus, let's say.
Exactly. So we have to kind of think about it as it's not all about how we look and how we feel.
This is a reality check, people.
Yeah, it's a reality. We have to actually be conscious about actual health in general.
And the health of your body, just not just looking good.
I mean, we're all going to die anyway at some point, but...
All right. I mean...
just being real.
I wasn't planning on it. But...
Yeah, we're all going to die at some point, but let's at least live to 80 and, try and live a healthy lifestyle.
I want at least 90, mate. I'll be pissed if I don't get to
80 is decent. I mean, that's a good innings. But these days, I understand with, medicine, yes, and knowledge that we have, 90 is good, but
if we're saying,
to be looking and feeling good.
Right, if we're saying 80, then you and I are approaching the halfway point rapidly right now. Because the minute we hit 40, you're saying we're halfway house.
Yeah, basically, halfway.
We better do some cool shit before we get to that then.
Exactly. So we want to be on this earth as long as possible while still living a decent life. And to do that, you have to be conscious in how your lifestyle is.
Interesting question for you.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of death? Deep one. Do you ever think about it?
Yeah, think about it. I don't think I'm not afraid of it. I'm quite...
You're accepting of it?
Yeah, I accept it, but I'm quite... not excited, that's the wrong word.
Wow! Well, steady on now. Bring it on.
No, I'm not excited, but
surprised you aren't going out hugging everybody.
Yeah. I'm, what's the word? I'm a man of many words.
What you're
not excited.
you're open to it. You're willing to embrace it.
Yeah, I'm willing to embrace and there's another word will come to me in a minute. But it's not that I'm excited, but I'm quite. What's the word? It'll come to me, but I don't mind. I mean, I do mind dying, but I what's the word? What is the word?
It's your homework for today.
Yeah, I can't remember the word. You know, I bought a dictionary the other day.
Wow.
So at the beginning of...
you never cease to amaze me.
No. I ordered a dictionary from Amazon and I sat there.
You started playing Scrabble or something, you need to up your game.
No, I just want to up my vocab. So I just started reading each page, one by one.
Oh my God. This is almost as good as the time Joey and Friends got the encyclopedia.
Oh, is it? I've never watched Friends.
And all he could talk about was the letter J, because that was the only letter he could afford. So he just talks about words, the words beginning with J.
Yeah, so I bought a dictionary and started reading.
Come on, give us some good words, mate. What you got? How does it end? Is it a good ending?
I'm only just started, mate.
Oh, right. So it's
there's a lot of words on one page, you know.
Oh, funny that.
It's a pocket one as well.
Wow, so you've done some serious aardvarks, apples, and
all sorts. I'm on A at the moment.
Yeah, I guess that. I'm pretty sure that's where it starts.
Yeah. But so
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
But yeah, I mean, it's all about. I mean, death is going to come to us. But
well, it's inevitable. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've only got one chance on this earth, in this body, I believe. So make the most of it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, do you believe in reincarnation?
Absolutely not.
What do you believe in? Are you an atheist?
Yeah, I'm scientific.
Yeah, same here.
I'm absolutely petrified of death.
You're petrified? You know the cycle of life, do you know what that is?
Well, yeah.
How do you wish to go? I mean, I know you don't to die, but where do you wish to go? Buried or
I don't really care, because once you're dead, you don't have a consciousness. It really is irrelevant what happens to you.
Okay, so but you have no preference.
No, it doesn't make any difference. I want all
if someone said to you, would you like this or this? Which one would you go for?
I think I'd want all my essential organs to be, if they're good, to go to someone who needs
the rest of the body where?
And the rest of my physical being, I'm quite happy for that to be. I kind of like the idea of being buried, because you're giving your body back to the earth.
Earth, right? So that's where we're going to go, because it's the cycle of life, right? Yeah,
but ultimately it means it's irrelevant to my concept of being afraid of dying.
Yes, I understand that, but we're still giving back to. We're still creating the cycle of life. So we turn into compost and mud, and then flowers then grow, and then gives off. We are now contributing to everything. So
yeah.
In terms of death, I mean, where do we go? I think there is because we have energy in our. We're giving off energy, right? This energy has to go somewhere. No. Energy has to move. Energy is energy.
Yeah, but essentially,
this is science now. Yeah.
But when you die, Ryan, essentially you've used up all your living energy. Your engine has stopped. There's no energy being produced anymore. Right.
Yeah? No, but there is still energy within. Yeah, that has to. You can't just suddenly just stop.
It can. It absolutely can. Once you're on, the thing that always resonates with me. I don't know why we've got onto this today, but is Descartes. I think, therefore I am. Have you heard that?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Do you understand the concept of that?
Go through it with me.
So I think, therefore I am essentially says, because you have because you can think, you have a consciousness, and a consciousness is an existence.
Yeah.
Without a consciousness, you do not exist. Yeah. So this squat rack doesn't have a consciousness. It only exists in a physical sense. It doesn't exist in a metaphysical, mental sense. Yeah.
Mental sense, right? Yeah.
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 So the minute I die,
you have no consciousness.
I've got no consciousness. I'm effectively. It's like unplugging something from the wall. Yeah. It suddenly stops. It's gone.
Okay. So, but we now have to think about the organs that are in the body.
Yeah.
So the brain has an electrical stimulus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It still has. It's not just going to completely. It's not just this. It's not made up. It's not just that.
No, it's not.
It was something before. What was this before? It was made into a.
It was ore. Frame. It was iron ore or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But we was a being. We was actually something that was very intelligent and had a lot of energy.
But Ryan, so I understand that your consciousness is part of the brain, and the brain has an energy.
Yeah.
What powers the brain? The heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
What powers the heart?
Exactly. The heart is oxygen and all that stuff, right?
Okay.
But Ryan, what?
This is what I'm trying to say now.
That's fine. The heart needs to pump in order to.
Of course.
And when you die, Ryan, funny enough, your heart stops working.
Of course it does.
So
but there's still oxygen around.
No, mate. I'm not.
There's still an environment, and that's what I'm saying to you. You don't need to be conscious. This is my big. You don't need to be conscious.
So, Brian, when you're telling me when you get buried and your brain rots down, you're telling me there's still a consciousness.
No, I'm not saying that.
So
I'm not saying, but there's still.
Seriously, what the fuck are you
There's
talking
still
about?
energy. There's still energy. Energy has to move, has to shift somewhere. Yeah, it has to shift.
Do you know what? I'm happy for you that you have that peace, because in some ways that's one of the things that I am envious of people that have religion. Whilst I really dislike religion for all the bad that it causes in the world.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
However, what religion does give to people that I don't have is hope, and also that concept of something after you die. I don't have that because I don't believe in it.
I'm not saying there is anything. This is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying energy. Still,
I understand that. But but Ryan, if I don't have my conscious thought,
of anything,
imagine if I can't even contemplate not existing, like just a blankness. It's not. I can't even think of a blankness because it isn't a blankness. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
How can you? I can't. It scares me. My whole body starts turning inside out when I think about it.
Yeah, but if you think about what was you before you was born?
Nothing.
Yes, but as you know it.
Yeah, of course.
As you know it, yeah. So it doesn't mean you wasn't anything, or that something wasn't something. I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to say, but I just think energy, because I've seen things as well. So it's other things I wonder. Why did that happen?
This is the same man that bought a dictionary to read. He doesn't buy books to read, he just buys dictionaries.
But what I mean, I've seen things, not happen to me, a little bit, a couple of times, but that happened to Laura in front of me. And so it's certain things like that, thinking, how did it happen?
How did we start this show? It was you believing that a man on Britain's Got Talent levitated.
Yeah, we're just talking.
So you're telling me...
I'm sure the listeners appreciate this.
I'm sure they do. We've gone to new depths today, everyone. New depths.
We've been affected by quarantine.
Yeah, I think you might have gone a little bit mad.
No, but I mean, it's the thing. Obviously, we've got a little bit more time in the hand, so we've been just looking at different things and just trying to, like I said, self-improvement and trying to learn new things.
I think going back to everything, definitely making the most of this downtime. I've still been working, but I've had some downtime in order to invest into effectively building up the other side of my business. Built a new website, set up a lot of marketing stuff for it. There must be a way for people to get something out of this. There has to be something good to come from it. Put it this way: you've got to look for silver linings, because otherwise you will get very depressed and so on. My other half and I would not have built this gym that we're sat in right now if it wasn't for this situation.
Blessing in disguise.
So you have to look for those silver linings. Something good will come from it, hopefully for most of you.
Yeah, there's a reason. I guess there's a you have to make something good out of it. Basically, you have to.
You're as much as you're the creator of your own destiny. We're all going to die, yes, but what happens between now and when you die is up to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, there are outside factors like coronavirus, like unemployment,
but we are still in control.
Yeah, all these things are factors that will affect you, and they will put obstacles in your way. But essentially, it's you that has to get yourself up in the morning.
Yeah.
It's you that has to motivate yourself to do something. You can draw motivation from others, much like you would get a personal trainer to motivate you to be better physically, better in the gym or so on. But it's a bit like you with your clients, Ryan. You probably let's say you get 10 clients, only 5 of them will see it through to the end, because the others don't have the personal motivation to see it through.
Yeah, literally every second, guys, we're making decisions. Every second, like literally, and that's underplaying it. Every second we make a decision. So imagine that. Imagine the amount of directions you can go.
Oh, yeah, I mean, bizarrely, I had a discussion with my brother today about him growing up, and he...
Is he taller than you?
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
What?
So he grew taller.
He, when he was younger, wanted to be in a band, so he learned guitar. He then got me to learn guitar because he needed someone else to be in the band as well. And then obviously the music industry happened for me, and I was in a band for 10 years touring the country and met a lot of cool people, did a lot of cool things, met all the relevant people in my life right now. Had my brother not decided to learn guitar,
you might be hench right now.
I probably wouldn't be sat here. I wouldn't be sat here right now.
No, yeah, because you've taken a different path.
Correct. So so every little decision made has the potential to impact the rest of your life.
Massive. That's why I say, like, if you're going to make a decision, do think about it. You know, have some thought.
Well, yes. Like, I'm still constantly weighing up in my mind about having children because I just don't know what.
Exactly, and this is why we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. There's no one on this earth, no human being that has made a right decision every time. We have all made mistakes, but it's how you respond to it, and then get around. It's just like a fitness goal. If you've got a goal and you've made a mistake and you then got fed up and stopped, learn from that next time. That's fine. Make different decisions.
A bit like your last competition.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to learn from that.
Yeah, so don't do 9 weeks. Do longer.
Yeah.
Don't get too much out of shape and do 9-week prep. If I'm getting out of shape, I need at least 15.
Yeah.
So
be real with yourself.
Be real and make right choices, because we all learn. You have to learn from it, And that's why I like making mistakes, because I think that is the way around it. Because if you're always going to make the right decision, you're never going to learn. Right? You're never going to learn from you need to make a mistake.
If the mistake has the power to make you stop doing what you were doing, then you weren't doing what you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. If a mistake makes you learn from it and makes you realise, if you learn from that mistake, then it was meant to happen, and you still want to keep going with it, then you're on the right path.
You're on the right path, yeah. But you have to carry on. You have to try and learn from it. Not just stop. Because once you stop, then you've made a decision now to obviously, change and go the wrong way. But I've come across so many different clients. Everyone's got like a different personality, and the most I can do, because I mean, if I was to give someone a plan, even if you're a personal training someone, but even if you give someone a plan online, I can only write a plan. I have to rely on them doing it and doing it properly.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is why I try and educate them and say, look, right, this is the reason why you're doing it. You're not just doing it. You're not doing it for me. You're doing it for you, and you've made that choice to do it. So let's look at it that way, so you can make the right choices as you go.
Okay, so this is a bit of a loaded question for you, given your job, but the minute people come out of lockdown and they can get back to training again, do you advise that they get a personal trainer to move forward, or do you think that people can learn themselves and get on with this, or do you think that is the time to get a personal trainer?
I think it just depends on the person. If you're a person that needs a kick up the butt to start something, but you can continue it after by yourself, once you start looking good, then I would say, get a PT or get someone that you can be accountable with, or get a training partner, whatever, get someone to push you. If you feel that you're self-motivated and you can do it by yourself, do it, but still have someone there. Still train with someone, still have someone that's kind of like watching over you,
accountability again,
or you're going through that same journey together, and that's what I would advise people to do. I mean, and take this opportunity, because you might be listening to this now, and you might have been on this demotivated path prior COVID, and take advantage of this from happening. Like we've mentioned already, take advantage of what's happened, make it an advantage, and make it a new start. And
we've got a level playing field for a lot of people now.
Yeah,
everyone's been forced back to reset and to reevaluate, and everyone will go again.
Yeah, even if you've had you haven't hardly trained, that's fine. You've given your body a good rest. You're mentally rest, and you know that the gyms are going to open at some point. So you said to yourself, right, I'm going to rest for this period of time. I'm going to eat relatively well, but I'm going to rest in terms of my body. But when the gym's open, we're going to go again. And so make sure you jump on that bandwagon and do it properly.
So now what we can glean from that is now is the time to learn about your nutrition and your diet, because right now your best weapon to stay in good shape, whilst before you may have been able to out-train a bad diet by going to the gym every day, because you're not able to do that, now is the time to get your diet where it needs to be.
Yeah, so like I've said to the majority of people that I talk to online or through Zoom or whatever it is, whatever meeting I have with my clients, I say to them, right, this is the time where you haven't got any most people had like a resistant band at home, all right, on average, right? You can do a certain, you can train to a certain extent with your body weight and stuff, but it's compared to what you was doing in the gym, you can't compare. So that being said, 70 to about 90%, especially if you're trying to lose weight, comes from food, all right? Because this is what you're putting in your body nearly every 3 hours, all right? You're only training.
Speak for yourself.
You're only training once a day, all right? If that, maybe three times a week. Sorry, 4 times a week on average. The nation. So when you look at it like that, most of your gains or your progress is going to come from food, nutrition. So we need to get that into place, but it also needs to be sustainable. It shouldn't be something too. I always say it shouldn't be too hard. Because if it's too hard, you're going to do it for maybe like 6 weeks or whatever and then stop and then go back to your old way. So it needs to be relatively easy enough and implemented into a routine that fits you. So it can be sustainable and then you can do it for a long term. So once you've got that sorted, you're on the right path. So once you've got the eating plan sorted, you are on the right path. Whatever you do, you can go for a walk, run, whatever takes your fancy. You can do and make the training complement the food right now, because that's the best you can do out of not a great situation. So food is so important. That's why a lot of people train their asses off and look the same. They look the same because they're either not training hard enough and they're not eating well. So guess what's going to happen? You're not going to change. Even if you are training your ass off, like so hard, like, you out-train people that look better than you. The reason why they look better is because they've got their food under control, but you haven't. And your genetics might not be as good either, or whatever, but food is the important part. And a lot of people forget about that part and how important it is. So it's not just about having a membership at a gym, it's about having a membership in your kitchen and using that kitchen properly. And that's the important part.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. If you can commit to training but you can't commit to dieting, then what's the point?
But it is the answer. A lot of people say, how do you? I don't know. What's the best? Okay, what's the best?
How do we get rid of the fat around my stomach?
Or what's the best way to
what
get
exercise
abs?
do I do to get abs?
Yeah, and what I try to say to them, right?
Just stop open in the fridge.
The first question I ask: what did you eat yesterday? That's it. And sometimes they can't remember, and I say to them, right, truthfully, tell me exactly what you ate yesterday. Yesterday, not 2 days ago. Yesterday. And they're like, oh, shit. I had. I woke up, didn't eat anything, and then at 12 o'clock at work, I had a sandwich, packet of crisps, and a banana, and then I went home.
I've had this conversation so many times.
Then I trained, then I went home and had a shower, and after shower I had some like these chicken pieces things, and salad, crisp, and some corn on the cob.
Oh, and then the missus, she gave me dairy milk.
Yeah, and then then I had that.
It was a friend's birthday at work actually, so I had a bit of cake.
Yeah. And then, okay, so I add up the calories. I think, all right, okay, so you probably had about 600 calories, mate. Yeah. Okay, so, what do you expect? You're eating too less. So people haven't got that, they just think they need to go to the gym. Every time you say, I didn't get myself to the gym. I need to get myself to the gym. No, it's not that. You need to sort out what you're eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Yes, get to the gym, but you know, you can do other things that keep you active. But it's what you're eating. It's what you're eating. That's the problem. And this is why I try and educate people. Is the eating is especially when you're losing weight. When you're building muscle, I think the training is a little bit more important.
Yeah.
Okay, in regards to building muscle tissue, you need to put a bit more stress upon it. But losing weight, all you need to do is move. So you can do that in a number of different ways. So the percentage of training is slightly different in terms of the importance level. So it depends on if you're looking to build muscle. Yes, okay, we need to stimulate the muscles, so we need to put a bit of weight on there. You know, we can't just do push-ups. But with losing body fat, you need to now start to have a little bit more focus on the food side.
Which energy in versus energy out when it comes to losing body fat.
Exactly, because that's how the body works. You want the body to utilize body fat cells as energy to then obviously lose the body fat.
And there's no real trick to that, is there?
No, I mean, but there's no trick to it. But what I say to clients, I said, if I wanted to, in the next 4 weeks, you could lose 10 pounds, just by eating chicken and broccoli. But it's not sustainable. So we've got to do it in a way where you can maintain this going forward.
Agreed. Yeah,
and that's the hard part. A lot of people know what to eat to lose weight, but it's to stay with
I hate that, because it's like, oh, I know what I should be eating. Well, firstly, do you actually know? And secondly, if you do know, then why aren't you doing that? And why aren't you getting results?
Because what it is, they know what to eat, but they can't maintain it because it's too hard.
It's boring, and they haven't educated themselves into eating a more interesting diet to achieve the same results.
Exactly. Maybe over a longer period of time, but that's what it's all about. It's about long term. Yeah. So with the thinking of it being long term, you need to eat foods that are less boring. So having the knowledge of that, you need to know how to do that. So having a coach maybe or teaching yourself to do that is the way forward. And for me, that is the secret. That is it. I mean, there's nothing else to it. I mean, that is the secret.
You can give yourself plenty of opportunities to keep your food interesting and lose weight. You came round tonight and I fired up the barbecue, outdoor, socially distanced and all that nice barbecues. Summertime is here, so we might as well do it. What did we have? We had chicken on the barbecue.
Yeah.
And it tasted better than normal chicken because it was barbecued, it was smoked. We had veg with it. Yeah, we had a little bit of pita bread with it. But essentially, you can't tell me that you can't, no one's saying you have to eat boring, bland food in order to lose weight. You can have a barbecue every night with different meats on it, loads of veg on it, and all that sort of stuff. You can have great meals.
Yeah, great meals, and you can still accomplish your goals all the time.
Exactly.
And it's something that you enjoy doing. So guess what, guys? If you enjoy doing it, you don't mind doing it again. But if you're eating out of a Tupperware, you chuck chicken and broccoli 5 times a day, you can only do that for so long.
It's pretty soul destroying.
It's soul destroying, and you're not going to keep with it. You're actually going to become so fed up of it that you're going to go back to eating bags of crisp every day. So
that's why the cheat meal exists as well.
Yeah, exactly. But what people do is actually give up because it's soul destroying, because they're sticking to this diet that is very restrictive and has not many options. And this is what people are getting. This is why I'm still in business, because PTs that don't know much give plans out that are probably just like, give same plans for all their clients. Very restrictive, and there's not many options. And you tell the clients, go away and do that. And then what happens? They'll do it for so long, and then it's a cycle of
it's a vicious cycle.
Vicious cycle.
Yeah, it doesn't get you anywhere.
Cycle of disappointment.
I read an article today written by a chap in his 50s who he was a bodybuilder when he was younger, and then he had a family and had a nice normal life, and then as he got into his 50s he wanted that challenge back to become a bodybuilder again. So he did everything it took in order to get in shape and win competitions again, and he did really well. However, in the process of doing that, he lost his family because he became so tied to the training and tied to his diet of chicken, plain chicken and so on, that it alienated him away from his family to the point where his wife just wasn't connected to him anymore. He trained unsociably, he ate unsociably, and ultimately, yes, now he looks at his trophies with resentment because they're just bits of metal and plastic, and now he's lost his family and his marriage as a result of it. And the first thing that I thought about was who was the coach? Basically, he would go to his coach every week and weigh in, and the coach would look at the scales and say, no cheat meal this week, or you've got a cheat meal this week. And very rarely did he get a cheat meal. Yeah. How demoralising must that be to rely on someone to say to you, you can have a cheat meal. And I know people do need that if you're prepping for competitions and stuff. I understand it. But for me, in my mind, I was thinking, this coach, it's not, the coach has put a dagger in this guy because he's made him this antisocial being. If you have a coach that just gives you the most boring diet in the world and suddenly you can't have a social life and you can't do this and you can't do that, then it's not going to work. You're going to end up resenting the sport that you wanted to enjoy. You're going to not want to train anymore and all this sort of stuff. You must educate yourself on ways to have a life and achieve the goals that you want to achieve.
It can be done, 100%. It can be done.
It took me years to get to that point. And obviously, and in the early days, I relied on plans from you, and they were quite plain, but they had variation in them. And I understand that as a coach, you have to be able to. You can't really give too many options to people because it starts getting complicated to do that. But as a person, if you have a personal trainer, you can do your own work on this and understand nutrition better and how to make more interesting meals that still hit those numbers. You have to educate yourself, otherwise you're just going to make it. If you're a machine and you just want to get up every day, eat the same thing for 12 weeks in order to get a result, and you're okay with that, and it doesn't affect your life, then fine.
Many people are.
But not many people can do that. So you have to educate yourself and learn more about your diet and ways, to be more flexible.
Yeah, because that's the only way you're gonna succeed long term. And I always talk about long term because, health is long term. And if you're gonna stay on a course, you're gonna stay on something, stay on that journey, then you have to think about improving your knowledge going forward because what you might like now in terms of food, you might not like in the couple years' time.
We'll all get I see these people on carnivore diet who eat steaks every day and go on about how great it is. If I had steak and burgers every day,
sick of it.
Morning, noon, and night, I would absolutely hate it.
Too much.
It'd be horrendous. Everyone goes, "Oh, it's the best thing ever." It's really not. I
couldn't have a burger every day.
They go and get 4 plain beef burgers with cheese on it because they're doing the carnivore diet or whatever. Nah, mate, not into that.
No. Right. You need to. I personally think the body needs a variety of different foods.
Yeah.
I always believe in that. I know we've got about 1 million different diets out there, but the best diet is if you mix all of them together. That is the best diet.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Because you get
mix
a bit of everything.
all of them together. So everyone says, "Oh, what's the best diet?" All of them. That's my answer. All of them.
Yeah.
That's how you just got the body wants variety because it craves variety because it does. It's like us as a brain. Our brain gets bored of doing something over and over again. Same with the body. Give it variety. Keep it guessing. It wants to change. It wants to keep stimulated. So whatever you think the best diet is all of them.
All of them.
All of them.
But just change the numbers around to suit your goal,
Exactly,
people.
yeah.
Simple as that.
All of them. And it's the same with training as well. What's the best way to build your upper chest, I get asked? All the exercises that hit your upper chest. Yeah? Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, there's no one.
No, there's no really one.
Magic.
You can start with this one and finish with that one, or next week start the other one and just do it. Yeah? Just do it. Okay? I mean, if someone says no, you should never do it that way, totally wrong. Totally wrong. As long as you're doing exercise safe, okay, and
it works for you.
It works for you. Why not? You want to stimulate the body differently. So there's no best exercise for anything.
Interestingly, obviously, because I've built the gym, I've got different equipment and I'm doing things differently. I've noticed some really good, pains the following day, the classic DOMs and all that. I I felt improvements because I'm not doing the same things I was doing at my previous gym.
Yeah, you've got the same machines, or
but they're challenging me in different ways because they're set up differently, or because I'm on my own. And the weights are different.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to the gym, you know exactly what weight you do on certain machines.
It becomes a habit.
And
a routine.
So therefore, changing that routine is what the whole. I know it sounds nonsense, but the keeping the body guessing thing.
Yeah.
It makes sense in a way. Yeah, I understand that building a muscle is about improving on certain basic exercises. That is true. But ultimately, by varying your workouts, you're improving the muscles around those muscles as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways of overloading and improving, and one of them is variety.
Yeah.
With myself, I've got an Olympic barbell in my garage, 2 20 kg plates, 2 10 kg plates, a bench, and a 50 kg dumbbells, 2 50 kg dumbbells. So I've had to just work with those. So I've gone old school. So all these old school exercises have actually helped me stay in shape. I mean, literally T-bar. So let's think about it. T-bar rows.
Yeah.
Old school, hard.
Yeah.
Core exercises as well. Bent over rows.
Yeah.
Different variations. Single arm dumbbell rows.
Yeah. Classic
exercises with legs, squats, Jefferson squats, lunges. It's all body, obviously just free weight exercises.
You don't need complicated equipment to get this.
So my body has, because I'm more of a, I would say 50-50, I would say free weights to machine majority of the time. But obviously during quarantine, during lockdown, it's been
free weights.
Free weight. So it's given my body a bit of a different challenge. Some being good, some being not as good. I feel that my lower back has aggravated a little bit just from doing a lot of bent over stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's definitely stimulated my muscles differently, and it maybe even improved on fitness because of it. And we've still maybe got another 4 weeks left. I'd say 4 or 5 weeks left. So
I think one thing that we've said before on previous shows is all these people are looking for a new exercise to improve a certain area, and they haven't even mastered the basics yet.
They haven't even tried it. I mean, like the amount of times I see people not even doing a T-bar row or a bent over row. If you go to a gym, right, how many people are going to be on that platform doing bent over rows or T-bar rows? They're going to be using either lat pull downs, seated rows. Now they're doing pull-ups.
You know what? A lot of it comes down to the fact that machines are quick. People are impatient. You can sit down on a machine, you can put a pin in, and you can go. Whereas a lot of the basic stuff, like your deadlifts, your squats, your barbell rows, stuff that involves you setting up bars, people don't do because they're lazy.
And it's harder.
Well, it challenges more body parts.
So when you've got two very good points that we've just mentioned, when you put those together, I've got to work tomorrow morning just to get that pull down ready. So just got to put a pin on it and put it down. Whereas you've got to get the plates, you've got to put it on the bar, and now you've got to lift that goddamn thing.
And also it's going to challenge more of your body instead of just isolating one little part.
Hence why it's harder and people kind of shy away from it. And if that is you that are listening, give yourself that might be something that you might want to think about.
Come on, man.
Putting it into your program.
Yeah, think about it.
Or train with someone else that does it, and then that will help you, do it yourself.
So guys, get your brains in gear because this is the time to do it. Start thinking about your training now, and start, more importantly, getting that diet and getting your body ready to receive those gains.
Yeah, because we only, this is probably only going to happen in our lifetime once.
We hope.
So take advantage of it now. And we're still in the summer period of, especially in the UK. So there's still time and opportunity to look good, feel good. And challenge yourself as well. It's about challenging you, because I've been training by myself. It's a little bit different. You haven't got, I'm used to training in the gym where you're in a social environment and you've got people talking, laughing, and you can feed off it. You feed off the energy in the gym. But when you're in the garage by yourself, you're kind of talking to yourself, and you're kind of...
You definitely need music.
So you have music, but you still haven't got that same vibe. So you have to really be... you really have to have the ability to challenge yourself in your mind and compete against you. And that's when all these sayings I read on Instagram, you versus you. Actually, when you're by yourself, it is actually you versus you.
You do need a bit of that.
Yeah, you do need a little bit of that motivation. So hopefully when the gyms open, we get back into the gyms in some sort.
Oh my God, people are going to be training harder and like crazy people.
Yeah, crazy with masks on. So
yeah.
so hopefully this period, is beneficial. It makes us stronger as people in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't really kind of leave it there today, because there is some kind of, this isn't the only potentially life-changing aspect of 2020. 2020 has been...
Oh mate, it's a write-off.
It's been the strangest year in my existence. And also to add to that now, we have obviously what happened with George Floyd what's now been really brought to the forefront with the Black Lives Matter campaign. And I kind of think that, you can't just ignore it, and neither of us have on our social media platforms, so it's probably worth...
on my Facebook I've been really posting. I do. Do you follow me on my profile Facebook, not my page?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I've seen the stuff.
Yeah.
But we should talk about this, because I don't know if you noticed, Ryan, you are black. I don't know if you noticed.
And you are white.
And I am white.
Yeah. And we get along fine.
I know.
And the thing is, I don't even see you as a colour of any. It doesn't really.
I think
it's not something that. Like, the only thing is that you have a different. I would say you have a different way about you, but that's actually you as a personality. That's you as a person.
Yeah, there's no reason to say.
That's the only difference.
Everyone has different personalities and so on, and obviously we've known each other a long time, and I don't think the only perception I had of you when I first met you,
it's a big muscular guy
that potentially related to your colour, was the fact that you were just jacked. And it's like, for fuck's sake, black people always look fucking excellent.
And I think that's down to genetics.
Do you know what that is though? Do you know what the fuck? Do you know the fucking stupid thing is? Is the reason black people look so good is because they've had to work so much fucking harder than the white man historically.
Yeah, so I think that's where, because I believe in ancestors and how you get your genes and your DNA.
Genetic. It's all about Darwinism and survival of the fittest.
So I think there is a positive. You can get a positive from it,
it's ultimately, Ryan, like the whole history of slavery and everything had meant that black people have evolved to be strong and brilliant people. Yeah. And it's horrendous, it's terrible, it's awful, but you can't, you have to look at the history of this. Now, I read an interesting thing today, actually. I think I took a photo of it, because this is something that other people probably wouldn't know. Where is it? Racism has been around for years.
And it will be.
And we all just pretend that it's fine and ignore it, and black communities have just been forced to accept it and get on, and it's just ridiculous. But this goes so far back, and it's been around, for years and years, right? So in 1835, the government took out so this is the British government, took out a loan to pay slave owners compensation for the loss of human property. So when slavery was abolished, the British government took out a loan of 20 million back in that's a lot of money back then, in order to pay off the slave owners, because slavery being abolished, it was like, sorry, none of that money went to the slaves, it went to the slave owners, right? So that's horrendous. Yeah. What is amazing about that is that debt was only paid off in 2015, right?
That's crazy.
So since 1833 to 2015, taxpayers' money of all races has been paying off slavery, yeah, and that I've only read that recently. That was brought up during this campaign by someone, and I read that this morning, and I was just like, it literally makes you sick to think that it's like someone's. And do you know where that money's been going? To the families of historic families of slave owners. That includes people like David Cameron's family. Yeah. So all these kind of
Yeah.
rich families and that were getting compensation. It's just
Some kind of compensation.
It's just fucking mind
Yeah,
blowing.
it's crazy. It is crazy.
But do you have a personal viewpoint on everything that's been going on?
Yeah, I mean, racism is not a good thing. I mean, there's racism, but let's get straight. Racism is not just against black people. It's against all. Like racism is you can be racist against anything. You can be racist against the gypsies.
Yeah.
There's racism against all different other countries.
Well, there's obviously like people you can be racist towards other countries.
Yeah. So so like China, Asia. You know, there's so many different. So racism is prevalent, and it's good. It's been with us, and it's still going to be with us going forward. My only hope would be it is starting to dilute or start to lessen over the years slowly as the new generation kicks through. It's still going to filter through because there's obviously still racist people now.
It's how
teaching their children.
Exactly, that's the problem.
But that's going to slightly lesser, as the years go by. But it's never going to be totally gone.
Someone that I worked with, a girl, she's younger than me, in her early 20s, has been very vocal about what's been going on and everything. And she posted, because people were doing the Blackout Tuesday thing.
Yeah.
She posted a white thing.
Yeah.
And said, white lives matter. And I just was like, I don't want anything to do with this person.
Right, so, with the...
I know where you're going to go with this, and I'm totally with you.
Yeah, so the confusion of this is not... It's not like... So I'm just going to read something here.
Yeah.
Okay, I posted this.
I know, I saw this. I'm totally with you on this.
Yeah, so we said Black Lives Matter. We never said only Black Lives Matter. We know all lives matter. We just need your help with the hashtag Black Lives Matter for Black lives that are in danger. So it's all about just this movement. We're not saying that, because there's been a bit of confusion. Even I got a bit confused when I first saw this hashtag about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Like, it sounds like it's just black lives. But when you then obviously go in depth a bit more, it's just supporting that movement.
Yeah.
We all know all lives matter. It's just because there's been the ratio of what's been happening.
You can see it in statistics.
Yeah, exactly.
That the number, this is in the UK as well, I can't remember the exact statistic, but out of all the 120 deaths caused by police brutality in the UK, something like 90 of those were black people out of 120 died. Now, why is that?
Yeah, exactly. And even in the US, like white people do die from police as well. We're not saying they don't, but what's the word? The
ratio.
The ratio of
the statistics, the balance.
The balance is not right. And again, I just think it's down to as well when it comes to police. To be a police, you haven't really got to have any kind of type of qualification.
I read the other day that it takes longer to be qualified as a barber than it does to become in the police in America.
Exactly. So you don't need any kind of qualification to become a policeman. You could have failed at many different things. You could have been bad at school. You could have been bad at loads of different things.
But hey, have a gun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and not all you've had. The only thing you couldn't have had is a criminal record. So you still. There's a lot of bad people.
You're still thick as shit, but hey, be a policeman.
Yeah, and you haven't, and your morals are slightly off. And then now you're a policeman, and now you're in charge of a lot of different laws,
And people look up to you and they trust you,
they should do. And you're in control of a lot of different situations. And that's why there's situations like this, because you're going to have racist policemen. It's normal, we're all human beings. There are human beings that are racist, and some of them are policemen. And it's only a minority of them. It's not a big amount, but it's all you need is one or two to blow it up.
Of course.
Okay, and that's what we've seen. These four guys, and again, one of them is being, I think he's mixed. I believe one of them is mixed race.
Yeah, okay? He is, yeah.
So it's not obviously, it's not just racism. It's how they've been trained as well at the same time.
It's just mind blowing, terrible, and ridiculous.
Yeah, and I used to be a prison officer, so I saw certain things as well that happened in there, and I can see how people can. You can go in. I can see how people can be brainwashed. So you can go in not being a racist into the force and come out being racist, okay? Because you're around these people all the time, and they're the way they are can rub onto you, and they could turn. In favour of that person being a racist. So I can see how you can easily be brainwashed as an officer. and that's just what's happening.
That's pretty scary when you think about it.
Yeah, because when you work 8 hours a day, you're working long shifts, so you're with these people most of your life.
And that is the concept of systemic racism, in the sense that if you are part of organisations which are okay with racism and it's just kind of bandied around like it's normal, then you too will eventually think that it's normal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the problem. So when I saw that video, it was horrific. Guess what? I saw another conspiracy theory. Let me try and find it. About this whole event. You're not going to believe this. So basically, I can't find it, it's somewhere in my notifications, but basically, they're now saying, let me see if I can find it. They're now saying that this was a whole, so that David Chauvin, whatever his name is,
policeman,
was an actor.
Huh?
Okay, listen to this. Yeah, he's an actor.
Right.
And George Floyd's not dead. And they all did this to get rid of basically Donald Trump, to try and play this against him.
Great. Well done. Well done.
Whoever came up of that conspiracy, and people actually believe in this. This is the problem.
I mean,
people are so fickle
and thick.
Yeah, and thick, and they just get brainwashed by reading something. It's like they want to believe it.
Yeah, of course they do, because they're so they're so
anti-government or anti. I don't know, anti-whatever.
They refuse to believe that what they believe is wrong.
Yeah.
So therefore they're looking for a scapegoat, something to fall back.
They just don't trust the news. Everything the news say is not right. So they have to come up with their own theory.
But that's where social media has king.
Effect.
And Twitter, Twitter, for example,
Yeah.
means that whatever the media choose to put out is irrelevant, because we can see with our own eyes everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And you can't hide that. We live in a generation where, everyone has a camera phone now, and everything is captured. So there's no way you can get away with shit like that.
So why would the news ever try and falsify anything? They can't, because everyone's got a camera.
Look, what it all comes down to for me is that, all lives do matter, but ultimately, the one thing that I reflected on was the fact that I am white, and at no point in my life have I ever gone out anywhere and worried that the colour of my skin will affect what happens to me that day or in a situation. And the whole concept behind all of this is that black people have come through life with that hanging over them.
So there's been times where, because I've grown up in sport,
you must have had situations in your life where something happened, or a situation, and simply was because you felt uncomfortable, and it was caused solely by the colour of your skin.
So like you could walk into maybe a room or walk into an environment, and you might be the only black person there, okay? And I would clock onto that, but people might not. But I would be within myself. I would know, okay, cool. I'm the only black person here. So I'm looked at as a little, because you're different.
You're a minority.
You're different from the entire room. Okay, so it's like having I don't know. It's like anything. If you're different from the rest of the room, you're going to be you're noticeable. All eyes are on you, type thing, right? So even if it's a good thing or bad thing, you still notice it.
And it shouldn't be that way.
No, it shouldn't be that way. But I just think as humans, or how we think, just in general, because we're all competitive animals, I just think that's where it stems from. Yeah? Everyone's trying to compete against each other anyway. And if you're odd, or you're not
different.
Odd, but different, and that could, straight away, that could be, I don't know, that could be...
It's a disadvantage.
It could be a disadvantage.
Or advantage.
Or advantage, so you're different. And that's where, and that's where it all kind of stems from. But also, people need to educate a little bit about the history. Okay.
That's the main thing.
I think the main thing you need is a lot about the history of both black and white history. Both of them.
I would like to think that if something good will come of what's happened, is that a lot of people will switch on to the history of where this has all come from.
Right from, yeah. So I think schools need to touch it, because when I went to school, I don't remember anything about black history.
No,
I don't think it was touchable. I don't think it was in the syllabus. So I think it being a multicultural country, I think they need to touch a little bit more on it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, people probably don't know anything about the Black Wall Street. No one probably knows about that. Yeah, like there was a time where there was just basically one street where black people own their own banks, their own cinemas, their own everything. Okay, and they got wiped out, burned down by white people. So most people don't know that. So it's just little things like that. Just knowing the history of white and black history, and knowing where it's all stemmed from, maybe could give people a bit more of an understanding of where everyone is. Because at the moment, you just think like at the moment, in general, how long are we going?
Oh, it's alright, keep going. It's good.
I mean, you know, in this country, white people are probably more privileged because they have that starting advantage straight away because
this is it. This is what
money.
This is what irritates me, that people don't acknowledge the fact that we have a head start.
Yeah. Did you see that video I posted?
Which one?
About having a race.
Oh yeah, I did. I have seen that. Yeah,
I've seen it before.
And it's right because
it literally paints it properly.
Of course it does, because you know I hate to say it, but white privilege is massively real, and we get a head start in life because
not everyone. But
not everyone.
Not everyone.
But essentially, you know, if you're a white person, even a white male, especially, that at no point in your life are you looked upon as an underdog or as a lesser person.
Yeah. Well,
in most cases, apart from me and bodybuilding shows,
sport.
But you know, that's genetics, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And like I said to you, black people have good genetics in my mind because they have fought so hard to stay.
Yeah, I think it must have stemmed from that.
It's got to. It's got to.
The physicality of doing things.
Surviving. Yeah. So, survival is a real word when it comes to.
And that's where obviously we've evolved.
Yeah.
And everything's evolved and to how we are right now.
Agreed.
But so I think if people can understand, I think the whole summarize it all up. If you can understand where it's all come from, you might have a little bit more, maybe empathy or something along those lines to help just your mind and understanding things, because there's still a lot of ignorant people out there don't really understand it all. Just everyone's this arrogant, got a lot of attitude. Yes, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of black people have arrogance, a lot of white people have arrogance, but it's just the understanding of it and just kind of learning and educating yourself, going way back.
Yeah.
And then just got to think where people have come from as well, and why they react certain ways, and why their culture is that certain way, you know.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, culture as well. Different colours have got different cultures, so you have to kind of maybe
no one's saying that
as well.
No one's saying that we all have to have the same cultural reference points and everything. We've all got different histories, we've all got different tastes, we're all attracted to different things. That's absolutely fine, but it shouldn't mean that everyone doesn't get equal opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And people actually, it happens, but people don't actually realise it's happening either, and that's another part of the problem. So like, I think Piers Morgan was talking one of his shows, Good Morning shows, and he had Andy Peters was in the studio, and they were talking about this thing, and Piers Morgan asked him a question about how does Andy feel being in this industry, and he goes, okay, you're asking me this question, Piers, how many black people are in the studio right now? Piers Morgan looked around and went, only you. And there's like 20 like white people and only one black person.
Yeah.
So Andy said, well, straight away, there you go. Like, it's not done on purpose. It's just that they don't notice it. They don't. So with the employment side, they don't actually notice what they're doing. You know, because it's in the back of their mind. It's they don't realise what's actually happening. So it's just changing that whole ethos going forward.
I think there's on the flip side to that, because that ethos exists, it probably holds black people back as well, because
from the confidence of
they may not even go for that job because they believe I've got no chance of getting it.
It's just like football managers.
Correct.
There's not many of them in the UK because they're not confident doing it because they don't see anyone else doing it.
Yeah,
and that's where it kind of goes. It's not that we're not educated or we're not as clever. It's just because the confidence is not there, and you've got too many people turning them down.
Yeah, look, at the moment, historically, if two people go for a job with similar abilities, one of them's white, one of them's black, and let's say it's in television, like you just said, 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't be surprised if the white person gets the job, and that is historically the problem here.
Yeah, exactly what it is, and I just think it's not I'm not blaming white people. It's just that they just need to change the way they're thinking a little bit, or change.
2020 is time.
Right.
We're breaking the mold right now. Right. We've all been given an opportunity for a fresh start. We're all starting again. This is the right. This is
it's not. I think 2020 is here for a reason.
2020 is the year of the
It's to get it all out.
This is the year of the reckoning, right?
It's literally just like whoever decided what 2020 does, they're saying right. Let's put everything into 2020. Let's get rid of the viruses.
Let's fuck this up.
Chuck all the viruses in there. Chuck all the protests and the riots and all the race hate in there. Let's chuck it all in one year so it's not spread out and diluted through the other years. It's just put in 1 year, get rid of it, get it done, and let's start fresh in 2021.
Here's to that. And either that or it's just Jumanji and we're in the middle of someone's fucked up game right now.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
Wow.
Anyway, that was a good show.
Jesus,
How long was that? That's probably the longest show, isn't it?
About an hour and 20.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason that it's the longest show, Ryan, is because this is the weirdest year of our 35 years of existence.
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, probably is one of them.
Come on, it is. What,
it must be.
You haven't had anything else in your life a
not
year.
Like we haven't been through war, have we? So, no.
Well...
Not direct war.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't been bombed and shit like that.
No.
But... No, in our existence, our 35 years, me and you on this planet.
Yeah, this has been the weirdest.
We never had this level of craziness before.
Hopefully, this is the worst as well.
But hopefully, this has all happened for a reason, and good days are coming because of this year.
Yeah, I mean, even if you can help a few people, that's fine.
As we said before, the silver lining of this year, if good shit comes from it, then let's go.
Yeah,
I'm ready now.
That's it.
I'm ready. I'm trained.
Good to go.
Good to go.
Good to go.
And I don't really think we're going to be doing any Insta Corner because there's nothing funny about social media at the moment. Really.
No one's really... Everyone's posting throwbacks.
There's no Q&A to be had because everyone's Q&A is related to lockdown.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for us.
That's it.
But on the plus side, Ryan, we're back in the studio.
We're back.
Shall we keep this as the new studio?
I guess for now, until it dies down, I think.
Do you not think we could bring the table closer together once the...
I mean, this is alright though. Don't need to change it, do we?
Well, I wouldn't mind being a little bit closer to
I mean, any shorter, you won't reach the edge of this.
We'll figure it out.
Safety bars.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up there.
That's it. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed my barbecue this evening.
It was tasty chicken.
You've been burping it up all show.
I never tasted chicken breast like that.
There you go.
For a long time.
My secret, guys, smoking. Get yourself a good barbecue, a charcoal barbecue. Get yourself some chunks of good wood. I used apple wood today. Soak them in water, put them on the coals, and smoke.
You soak them as you just literally soaked it, or just like dipped it in water.
No. So leave your chunks of wood in water for about an hour or so. Because if you put dry wood on, they'll set on fire.
Oh, okay.
If you put wet wood on, then it smokes.
So it needs to actually be moist.
It has to be wet wood, yeah.
All right. Okay.
So that it doesn't set on fire.
All right.
But that's how you get different woods get different flavours.
Get flavours.
So you get maple wood.
Yeah.
You can get wood that's from old whiskey barrels, so you get that whiskey flavour smokiness.
Nice.
Oak, hickory, and these are how you get different flavours of smoke. So that's what I'm saying, people.
Educate yourself, boy.
Educate yourself. Become your barbecue pitmasters out there.
You could be guys. Imagine this: you could have done a gardening course, could have done a paint and decorating course, could have done a barbecue course. You could have done anything. This is the time. You still got time. 6 weeks, 5 weeks.
There's time to. I mean, and also hopefully, even when you do come out of lockdown, you'll take some of this, and maybe you will still learn. You'll still try and be better people. Because we ain't done being better people yet, Ryan.
No, never.
We're always learning.
Always learning.
Always learning. But thanks for listening, everyone. Good to see you again, Ryan.
You too, mate. You too.
And see you again soon.
See you again soon, guys. And guys, just guys and girls, remember, leave a comment. Any questions you'd like to see for next show. We're going to start the Q&A next show. Any questions you would like answering or any kind of issues you have, put them in the comments below here on iTunes or Spotify. Can you put comments on Spotify?
I don't really know. You can do comments on YouTube as well if you're watching the video.
Yeah, YouTube or iTunes. Let's stick with that.
All that jazz.
Yeah.
But yeah, just keep us going, guys. We like having you on board and we like being here. So stay safe, stay alert.
Stay alert.
Stay alert. And game on, and let's get keep the good times going and try and focus on those silver linings, people.
That's it.
All right. See you in a bit.
Bye.